morning and welcome to our Music Sunday service. We're going to start with a song, a new song that we can learn together. And it goes like this. Call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down. Will you repeat? Call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down. Joy before us, joy behind us, joy within us and around us. Call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down. Peace before us, peace behind us, peace within us and around us. Call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down. Love before us, love behind us, love within us and around us. Call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down. Call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down. Good morning and welcome to Beacon Unitarian Universalist Congregation. My name is Misa Iwama and I'm the Director of Music Ministry. My pronouns are she, her. I'm wearing black clothes, as always, shoulder-length hair, glasses. I'm shorter than most of the people, okay, all of the people in the room. It's an overcast day in Summit, New Jersey, on the land of the Lenape, but inside, as you've been singing, we already have the feeling of the warmth of a community. So thank you for joining us in person. Thank you for joining us online. We're so glad that you are doing so. And we're also now going to take a minute to say hello to each other. Now, if there's someone whose name you don't know, maybe that's a person that you want to introduce yourself to, so that we can build our congregation. Oh, you're doing that very, very well. I invite you to take your seat.
I'm Helen Kerr, this morning's worship associate. I'm Helen Kerr, this morning's worship associate, and I guess I'm a little above average height. I'm kind of old with white hair. I answer to she, her, and I'm doing our chalice lighting. It comes from Linda Susan Ulrich, and she calls this Sacred Paths. Rivers and streams follow their own courses, but the water molecules are indistinguishable. No one would confuse a candle flame for lava, yet in each, the fire dances. An invisible force both knocks down trees and holds birds aloft. The air remains indifferent to its uses. Diamond, desert, Denali, and dirt each tell their different stories, all with the earth as protagonist. Whatever our sacred paths, whatever our beliefs and practices, however we gather in community, We honor the spirit of life, the spirit of compassion, the spirit of justice, and the spirit of love. How many stars are there in the sky? All of them. Blessed be.
Our opening hymn is in your program. It's What Wondrous Love. What wondrous love is this, oh my soul, oh my soul. What wondrous love is this, oh my soul. What wondrous love is this that brings my heart such bliss and takes away the pain of my soul, and takes away the pain of my soul. When I was sinking down, sinking down, sinking down. When I was sinking down, sinking down. When I was sinking down beneath my sorrow's ground, friends to me gathered round. Oh my soul, oh my soul. Friends to me gathered round. Oh my soul. To love and to all friends I will sing, I will sing. To love and to all friends I will sing. To love and to all friends whom pain and sorrow mend. With thanks unto the end I will sing, I will sing. With thanks unto the end I will sing.
Good morning, beloved. I'm Reverend Robin. My pronouns are she, her, a member of the lead ministry team here at our beacon. I am an average height, perhaps a little short, but not in spirit, white woman with brown hair. I've written a poem, maybe it's a bit poetry, it's a bit prose, as my interpretation and receiving of Article 2, which is the insider lingo here on Article 2, is that these are the proposed changes to where our Unitarian Universalist principles and sources now reside. And we will, as a denomination, vote together in June on whether or not to accept the proposed changes. My poem comes by inspiration from the words of the Unitarian Universalist minister, Reverend Laurel Hallman, who said, "You can ask a person what they believe, and they may tell you something halfway interesting. But if you ask them what should be taught to their children, you quickly get down to the basics." It's entitled The Lesson. What will we teach you then, beloved? Lessons of life and liberty, quotes to memorize as scorched coffee wafts in the air, founders, persecution tales, edicts, and murders. Is this the sum of it all? Surely there must be more than what lives between pen and paper. Can we tell them, then, the children, of dreaming with justice, of the courage to foster inclusion, to face systems of terror or torment, and say, in this generation, if one cannot breathe because of another system or single human, it is enough. It is enough for us all to keep on until we can all breathe. Yes, too, let's add the clarity to see that equal is not always equitable, to open the gates to abundance, something that grants future. Will we craft classrooms of true thought and foster a freedom cultivated by curiosity, deep listening, and a pluralism that could cause us to collectively prosper? Ooh, add generosity in there too. To share without a tally or a tax, to live into mutuality of what is ours, not mine or yours, but ours, beloved. And then, let's teach them to sense in the very air inhabiting our lungs, or the hawk circling overhead, or the dew on the grass brushing against ankle, how interwoven, how inextricably interdependent we are forevermore. Can we sing this blue boat home with our lives that will save species and repair them, where trees exhale into our beings and we remember we were never just ourselves? There is the transformation that is terrifying and exhilarating, past the inevitability of change into choosing to be a living tradition that deepens as it unfolds, that listens as it learns, and transforms as it yet teaches. What will we teach them? After all the words and the heartache and the hurt and the struggle, past emotion or even devotion, past simplistic rhymes and slogans, the lesson was and will be and is now love. 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 The first, and if we are fortunate, the very last lesson of our lives. Love.
Good morning. My name is Kathy Menendez, she, hers. I am for the visual cues, I'm a shorter, older, blonde-haired white woman wearing all black and a burgundy scarf, which indicates that I am a member of the chaplain team here at Beacon. Chaplains extend the spiritual care of our community, and we define spiritual care as intentional compassion through presence and listening, and we keep all conversations strictly confidential. Chaplains also facilitate our weekly ritual of candle lighting, and together we light candles of joy, sorrow, and gratitude. This morning, we light a candle of healing and support for Rhoda Kleeman-Hege and on her upcoming spinal surgery. A candle of support for Debbie Marquette as she heals from surgery, and one for Susan Allard for continued healing. We light a candle of sorrow for all the lives lost in armed conflict around the globe and for those still suffering. And finally, a candle of joy and gratitude for music, which can convey what our hearts feel but words cannot adequately express. For this and for so much more, we invite you to come forward and light a candle here in our sanctuary, at home or wherever you may be.
name is Mary Parker. My pronouns are she, her. I'm 5'5", wearing a black dress and a black beanie and a red scarf. And yeah, I was born a Unitarian Universalist in Long Beach, California. My parents actually met at a UU church while participating in their choir and religious education program. I moved to New Jersey for work in August of 2023, but I wasn't afraid, in part because I knew there'd be UUs nearby. Searching near my work, I was impressed by Beacon's large congregation and long Wikipedia page. I started attending church to meet new people, knowing I would be in good company. As luck would have it, on only my 4th Sunday with Beacon, there was the annual tri-partnership pancake breakfast. I had only planned on attending for the food and company, but Jean and Eric invited me to sit in on the presentation about the tri-partnership and the upcoming trip to Barrow, Transylvania. Coincidentally, there was still one spot open. Before I knew it, I'd signed up, and I can't wait for this August to represent Beacon at the Tri-Partnership Summit in Romania. At that same breakfast, I learned about the Beacon Choir and community groups, both of which I've ended up joining and attend weekly. I drive here so frequently, Beacon is the first recommended address on my Google Maps. I've always been a pretty lazy UU. At my last church, I preferred to help in the kitchen, listening to the sermon through the speakers while enjoying the gossip from the kitchen crew who ran after-service coffee and cakes. Sitting through a service can be a struggle for me. They can sometimes feel like a college lecture and I end up zoning out. But unlike other religions, there's no religious guilt forcing me to wake up early on Sundays or pay attention during service. But since joining Beacon, I've attended most services and I never regret it. I love it when a sermon grabs my attention or makes me cry, but even when my mind wanders, I found I still appreciate the calm. From the moment I enter the building, I'm less stressed, and I always leave feeling better. True to Beacon's mission, every Sunday feeds my spirit. These feelings in this community keep me coming back for every Sunday service, every Thursday choir rehearsal, and every other Monday community group session. I became an official member on March 31st, 2024, and I'm happy to say I make it most of the way to church without using Google Maps.
Mary, we are so glad that you've found Beacon, and thank you so much for a beautiful testimony. Looking forward to traveling with you in August. Beloved, Mary's light is one of the many that makes us shine as a beacon, and for that collective light, our morning offering will now be most gratefully received.
So beautiful. Thank you. I invite you to rise in all ways possible and join in singing The Spirit of Life. And the words are in your program. It's Music Sunday, and today we're doing a sermon in song. As Reverend Robin recently said, if you have two Unitarian Universalists in a room, you're going to have three opinions. But today we're using songs as a way to find our common ground, to think about the things that we all believe in as a community. Now, later this month, you will also be hearing much more about Article 2 and the bylaws of the Unitarian Universalist Association. For today, though, you will see those values of Article 2 on Helen Keir's beautiful, beautiful program. It was such a wonderful collaboration. Thank you for creating this entire program. So the values here are justice, generosity, pluralism, equity, interdependence, and transformation. And at the center is the selfless love of our neighbors. There's a story that years and years and years ago, a Rabbi Hillel, had a young person approach him and say, "Tell me the whole Torah, the Bible, while you stand on one foot. And if you do that, I'll be your student." So the rabbi said, "What is hateful to you, do not do to your neighbor." And that is the whole Torah. The rest is commentary. And then he said, "Now go study." So today, we are studying the words of Spirit of Life. Spirit of life, come unto me. This beloved hymn, this most popular Unitarian Universalist hymn, begins with the word spirit. Spirit means different things to different people. But in the value of pluralism, it means that we celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. So we don't all have to believe the same definition of spirit, but we do all lift up that we are sacred beings. All right, that phrase might make some people a little bit hesitant. So today we're also going to be hearing readings that are words of wisdom from various sages throughout history. Here is Rick with the words of a prophet, Pete Seeger.
I used to say I was an atheist. Now I say it's all according to your definition of God. According to my definition of God, I'm not an atheist because I think God is everything. Whenever I open my eyes, I'm looking at God. Whenever I'm listening to something, I'm listening to God.
Would you please rise in any way possible as we sing hymn 1051 in the Teal hymnal? It's We Are 1051. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to universe who we are. Each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to universe who we are. We are. unto me, sing in my heart. Singing has a lot of health benefits. That is known. But for me, the biggest benefit of singing is that it is an exercise in being grateful. And here on this morning, as we think about the value of generosity, we do cultivate a spirit of gratitude and of hope. To sing is to breathe. It's to experience the joy of creating sound in a group. It's the luxury of seeing little tiny black specks on a page and turning them into something beautiful. Our choir meets once a week on Thursdays, and it's a phenomenal group of people. The choir is open for anyone who would like to join. Over the years, our connections keep growing. The choir brings their voices and their spirits and actually makes our day happier. In the 13th century, the philosopher Meister Eckhart said, "If the only prayer you say in your life is thank you, that would suffice." So here's our prayer. Thank you to the choir. And thank you to John O'Neill, because your musicality and your spirit is inspiring every week. And thank you to the congregational choir today. I hear you singing, and we will keep on singing. For all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. May you be safe. May you be strong. May you be lifted up in joy. May you find peace and be at ease. And may you blessed be. May we be safe. May we be strong. May we be lifted up in joy. May we find peace and be at ease. And may we blessed be. For all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. Would you please rise and always possible and join in singing our next hymn? It's number 1010. We give thanks. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for our gathered here and this far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for our gathered here and this far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. All the stirrings of compassion. And now for the leaf of equity. We declare that every person has the right to flourish with inherent dignity and worthiness. That was Rabbi Hillel's teaching. Treat your neighbor as you want to be treated. And in the Spirit of Life lyric here, stirrings, the choice of the word stirrings, means that nothing is fully developed. We're still fledging. We need to develop our love to get to compassion, and we need compassion to get to equity. Here are words of Brian Stevenson.
We cannot make progress in creating a more just society, healthier communities, if we allow ourselves to be disconnected from the people who are most vulnerable, from the poor, the neglected, the incarcerated, the condemned.
It's the first time in Spirit of Love that we're hearing about the world of nature. And it's not just that the wind and the sea exist. We are asking that the Spirit of life act through the air and through the water. It's the idea of interdependence. We honor the interdependent web of all existence. And Helen is going to read a poem that might be about oak trees, or it might be about people.
This poem comes from Craig Babcock, who's a longtime member who moved away. I guess many of you know him, and he calls it We Are. We are the elders of an oaken community, anchored as over us cycle the sun and moon. Once, each of us was a seedling, a sapling, a young tree. Now, we are prime beings. Each spring, we welcome and delight in flowing sap, growing leaf and acorn, making and storing our sustenance, spreading roots and our awareness. We are ever-present companions, guardians, providers, defenders. Our fungal brethren bind us as they surround and expand our base. We take joy in life, the singing of birds, the scampering feet of squirrels, the buzzing of bees, the feeling caused by moving air and water falling on us. Each winter, we recover and rest. We are survivors. We stand together. We are always right where we began in our whole life place. We are.
For interdependence, what other hymn can we sing now except for Blue Boat Home? It's number 1064. I invite you to rise and join in singing. Giving life the shape of justice. The spirit of life, having worked through nature, now works through human beings, through their hands. It suggests that we are going to need to put in some labor to affect the ideal of justice. We work to be diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where all thrive. Dr. Cornel West said that justice is what love looks like in public. And Mary has more words from Cornel West.
The country is in deep trouble. We've forgotten that a rich life consists fundamentally of serving others, trying to leave the world a little better than you found it. We need the courage to question the powers that be, the courage to be impatient with evil and patient with people, the courage to fight for social justice. In many instances, we will be stepping out on nothing and just hoping to land on something. But that's the struggle. To live is to wrestle with despair, yet never allow despair to have the last word.
Roots hold me close, wings set me free. What a dichotomy. The roots hold us to our history. The wings send us into the air in a new direction. And that is the value of transformation. We adapt to the changing world. We're going to take a few moments of silence because part of music is the absence of music. And during the silence, we're going to think about the people who came here in this room before us. We don't even have to know all of them personally for us to be part of the lineage of this congregation. And we can think of our own paths, the people who helped us along the way of our own lives so that we arrived here today in this sacred space.
In the rising of the sun, we remember. In the blowing of the wind, we remember. In the opening of buds, we remember. In the blueness of the skies, we remember. In the rustling of the leaves, we remember. As the year starts and ends, we remember. When we're weary and need strength, we remember. When we're lost and sick at heart, we remember. When we've joys we've yearned to share, we remember.
So long as we live, they too shall live. They are now a part of us. They are now a part of us. They are now a part of us. As we remember, we remember. We remember. In our value of transformation, it's hard to be open to change. But transformation would be the action of being able to make a change. And we need to remember also all the way that the wings work. One of the nicest things about being here at Beacon is to see the children of the congregation grow up. You see babies being named, you might see a baby in the Christmas pageant, all of a sudden then they're running across the back on their way to social hour. We have children's rite of passage, coming of age services. They're here in the youth service. We know they're here on Sunday evenings, and suddenly they're graduating. As they grow up, we hope that they remember that Beacon is their home. It's the same for everyone who leaves on adventures, including Craig Babcock and Margaret. And they come back in the form of poetry from their home in New Pennsylvania. You're always welcome to come here and come back home.
I see
the beginning of this service, we sang Call Down a Blessing, if you recall. So this is something related, because we're now calling for the Spirit of life to come to us. We're not saying, Spirit of life, it's all good, you're over there. We're saying we are ready to experience a change. We are ready to move towards something better. And what would be better than living these values that we've talked about today? If you look at your program, you'll see that love is the power that holds us together, and it is the center of our shared values. The whole ecosystem is not a static thing. Love feeds the values, and the values point back to love. After all, Bell Hooks said it. Love is an action, never simply a feeling. So our first action right now will be to sing. I invite you to rise and sing Spirit of Life. In the words of Saint Thérèse of Lisieux, may you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born of faith in yourself and others. May you pass on the love that has been given to you and allow your soul the freedom to sing, dance, praise, and love. Our choral benediction has words in Latin, and those words mean, blessed are you that come in the name of the Lord. For us today, we say to you, blessed are you that come here in the name of love.
Benedictus
Music Sunday service has ended. Our service to the world continues anew.